Okay, and it looks like we are live. Welcome to my movements martial motion here on Monday here at 3 o'clock. Today we're going to start session 1, so we'll be going through a series of stretches and then moving ourselves to standing position to grounded position as per normal. But this being our session 1 here, I want to revisit a few basic concepts. Okay, so basically, we're going to start here in our Seiza position, just a bit to open the feet up, and I'm facing you. You go ahead and go to the base of your mat, right? So, top of the feet to the mat. Let's begin by opening up the tops of our feet and keep our posture as upright as possible and slightly tilted forward to open up our lungs as well. So, straighten my spine and more capacity I have to open my lungs. In my inhalation through my nose and exhale through the mouth. You can just go ahead and close your eyes or keep them open, going hand in hand. Press your palms in your lap. You're going to take deeper breaths. Sit bones, touching your heels. So keep the posture as upright as possible, expanding the rib cage with each inhalation. And exhaling through the mouth, still keeping our posture tall. Just a few more as we begin to deepen our lungs, deepen the space in which the lungs are opening, air sacs. As we deepen this, a slight pause at the top and the bottom of the breath. At the top, being my full inhalation, expand the rib cage, inhale. Small pause and exhale through the mouth, pushing belly button, spine, tracking the abs, pushing the air out. In through the nose, pause, the lungs are full, and exhale. Pause, as lungs empty, and inhale. The eyes were closed, we can go ahead and open the eyes as we reach forward. Bring our hips from our heels. Let's walk our hands to the point where our hands are just beneath our shoulders and our knees are just beneath our hips. Okay, so see me here, just a bit too long here. So I'm going to bring my hands back so my thigh bone and my arms are pretty much perpendicular to the ground. Do this, I'm pressing the tops of my feet still to the mat, not using the pressure of my body here, but with intention, pressing tops feet to the mat as well as the base of the hands. And here we go for our cat-cow. So bringing my chin to my chest, and I'm pushing through my shoulder blades, really expanding spine, upwards position. But here I'm trying to keep my hips still above my knees, bring my entire spine bending up to the sky. That's where I exhale. Inhale, belly down, head up. More of a rotation in the hips. Then a forward and back shift of the hips. If that makes sense. Inhale. For my cow. Exhale for my cat. My fingers evenly splayed, not too far apart, Just giving myself space between the fingers to create better base and balance. Palm cement to the ground. Fingers cement to the ground as well as the thumb. Straightening the thumb out. So pushing through the shoulder blades. Just go ahead and bow up as well through the lumbar spine as well. Still pressing the feet into the mat. And time. Now I'm bringing my spine back to that neutral position. Almost at the tabletop here. I'm going to go for some circles. Okay, so I'm rotating, going clockwise first. Okay, so keeping my head slightly ahead of my hands. Drawing a circle with my nose just above my hands. I'm still keeping it centered between my hands. All the while, still trying to press the tops of my feet to the ground. Hands to the ground. Fingers evenly splayed apart and flat to the mat. For each semicircle that I draw, go to inhale, exhale. Keeping the arms straight. Opening up the wrists, the carpal tunnels, and switching directions. Went from clockwise to counterclockwise. Still actively pressing the feet into the ground, even as my feet begin to lighten as I shift forward. Begin the breathing. That's my inhalation. My left semicircle. And my exhalation, my right semicircle. The more my shoulders go past my hands, more strain it can be on the wrists. Okay, so move in carefully. Just a few more. And time. Now, I want to go ahead to my child's pose, walking my fingers forward while I draw my hips back. Bring the finger to the knees just a bit wider. To rest the chest in between the knees. Walk fingers forward and sit the hips back. Keeping the arms straight. Press my heels and my palms are off the ground. Again, calling to that breathing. Still breathing into the base and back of the lungs. We are expanding the rib cage and exhale. Reaching forward, creating more space, taking air, and exhale. And now, I'm going to face onto my hands, and I want to walk. To leave my hands in a certain place here, I'm going to shift. Instead of walking, I'm going to shift my weight forward as I dive through. Place the weight mainly on my hands, slightly on my elbows. My elbows raise with my hips from my heels, and I dive through. Head goes low. And then from there, I press the top of the feet to the mat and shift up for my up dog. Let those hips sink down towards the ground. Tops of the feet to the mat, fall into palms. Shoulders back, my gaze is forward. Hips down, allowing gravity and breath to work the stretch. Nice. Now we'll push back for our down dog. With the top of the feet to the bottoms of the feet. 1, 2. Lower the heels, bend the knees for our down dog. Right, just a slight bend of the knee. My arms in straight and in line with my spine. Heads in between my arms. Now from here, go ahead and dive through again. Okay. So this time my knees are off the ground. Elbows just barely touching the ground. Go from the balls of my feet to the tops of my feet as I shift forward. Back to my up dog. Hips down, shoulders back. Arms are straight. And again, push back. Still from the top of the feet, maybe stretch the toes a bit much, testing my range. When I feel any discomfort, I flip and flip to the balls of my feet. As my heels lower, my head's between my arms, bending my knees. Back and arms are straight in line. Nice. And let's move back through again. Head diving downwards, about 45-degree angle. And I raise back up, flipping the tops of the feet to the mats. Gaze forward, shoulders back, hips down. And again, down dog. Pushing back. This time I flip the tops of my feet to the mat. I lower my knees down, bending my knees even further this time. Bring my head in line with my arms. Spine straight. This time my gaze is forward. Down towards the ground. That same 45-degree angle which I then dove through. I'm bending both legs. So I can jump from down dog to my little squat. Watch first. 1 and 2. And I lower my feet just outside my hands. Okay, simply what I'm looking for here is make sure we land safely. Okay, now we'll all do it together. Okay, tried it already. My measurement will be from my plank position, so my hands will be my shoulders. Then I push back for my down dog. Bending my knees even further. Gaze forward. Bending my knees to create explosion, propulsion from the ground. 1, 2, and 3, we hop. Going down, pressing the palms together. Spine straight. Gaze is straight ahead, if not slightly up. Really stretch the spine. Okay, so now from here, what I'm going to do is use my palms to push an imaginary object out of the way and myself downward. So while my hips are met down to the ground, I'm going to push away and slowly lower my sit bones down towards the mat. And I extend my legs to a prone position. Okay, so as we do that, right, we really low down towards the ground. Okay, I've tried it already. My feet are wider than hips width apart. Pushing, making sure that my hips are laying on my glutes, not small my back. As I push away, down, I extend the legs, hands down to the ground. We will go into our plow position. Pressing my palms into the mat. I raise my legs, inhalation, and then I raise my hips, lower my legs, pushing through my palms to the ground. Exhale to my plow. No pressure on the neck. I'll keep it right, the fleshy part, my mid shoulders to my back. Then we point the foot, leg straight, and back down. Inhale, lowering one vertebrae at a time down to the ground. Keeping those legs still straight, feet together. Nice and here, lowering feet down. Exhale. And we'll try it again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, raise the hips to lower the legs. Flower position, keep those legs straight. And any points, 4-point beats. Inhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. Still keep support. Keep the hands meeting with the ground. One vertebrae at a time to the small of the back. Nice. And exhale, lower. Feet down. Let's try 3 more. Raise legs up with our inhalation. Hardly any base of the head on the ground at all. My chin's slightly curved towards my chest. And raise the hips, push, and exhale as you lower the legs just above the head. Bringing those thighs, legs parallel to the ground. Nice. And inhale. Lower spine, one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Just the legs. Raise the hips. Exhale. Lower. Legs parallel to the ground. Inhale. Lower vertebrae by vertebrae down. Then the legs. Exhale. Last one. No pressure on the neck. And lower down towards hips. And exhale. Lower feet down. Okay. Now from here, we're going to keep the same routine to get the momentum through our combat base. Okay. So our combat base. I'm going to raise my legs up, not fully to plow, but just to bring my legs perpendicular to the ground. Okay, so raise my legs up. Here's enough space to load. Bringing one foot behind one knee, and I can create momentum by swinging my legs forward, my back off the ground. As my back comes off the ground, my hands also come off the ground to protect my face. So I roll forward through my combat base. Okay. In my combat base, lead foot, heel stays down as I reach forward, stretching the Achilles as well as the top of the foot on the other. Okay, and then I come back down. That same push away as I lower my hips down. Okay, this time I'm mainly on my glutes, side where my leg is based. And my break fall is simulated by what? My hands to straighten my legs down towards the ground. Push back up, legs towards the sky, and I switch. One foot behind one knee, hands to my head. We'll keep the same routine. With as much pace, right, as we can. We can keep momentum. What I don't want to do is depend on my momentum, my movements. Okay, so I'm still keeping good core control. Keep my posture as upright as I can as I lower back down, straighten the legs, break fall, rise. Keep those feet together, legs straight. Switch. Foot behind the knee, hands up. Stretching the Achilles and foot back down. Up, inhale, and exhale. My combat base. push away. Back down, extend the legs, and up we go. Hands to the ground, switching my legs again. 1 foot behind one knee. I'll get a little bit of speed here, but as per our safety, I have not put my small of my back on the ground, going on my glutes. So the fleshier part of my body cement to the ground sustainably. Still stretching the feet, the Achilles, straight legs, rise, inhale, exhale, rise. The upper body. And time. Okay, let's go ahead and grab some water. I'm gonna come back, yoga mats out of the way, go to a grounded drill position back in 30 seconds. Now we come back. I'm gonna go here, just a drill to kind of find where our bridge positions are, and also where our standing base positions are. Okay, so our standing base is a quick review. Is when I am down on the ground. That's what we just did. I pushed away in my case, but in actuality, maybe I got pushed. Okay, so I got pushed. I'm lowering my hips down towards the ground, right? So I can protect more so my spine and my head from the impact. Okay, so do my side view first. Here and here, I have my yoga mat here, so I'm going super slow. Okay, everyone else uses a yoga mat. Try this. Okay, something soft to protect the points of the bones. So here's I push away, I push down, keeping my legs bent before I make the impact, because my hips fall from a height. Of course, there's more room for force impact. Okay, so the lower I am, even when I get pushed, I bend my legs. And here, I landed on my hip. Okay, here's my break fall on my same side hands. Okay, that's more advanced. We go into our side break fall, but the point I'm bringing here, right, is to mitigate the impact of the fleshier part of the body. Okay, but here, they're coming back to a standing position after I break fall on that hand. So my whole body hit the ground. Here, I base, opposite hand, opposite foot. Raise up, kick forward, and from here I turn my hips down. Keep that space in my hand away from the same object, and come to a standing position. Okay, but how we practice that, keeping that core control, right, and that rotation, just overall body awareness, is through our kick through jills. Okay, so here I'm from, similar to our table, to our cat cow. Here, our tabletop position, where my knees are coming about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. Here, what I'm doing is I'm raising opposite hand, opposite foot, and kicking through with that same side foot. I want to say through, right? I'm going to kick in the same direction in which my leg is on. My right leg kicks through to my left. Okay, so here, raise up, left hand, right foot, same time, and from there is where I pivot on my base foot and kick through. Toe and heel facing east-west ideally. But notice here, I'm still keeping a slight bend in my knee, just to make sure that the imagined point of impact, I still have room and momentum to go through, not just on the target. Okay, so from here, I'm going to come back, bringing that hand back to the ground, and that foot back to the ground. We're going to try this at the same time. So I'm raising my right hand, left foot, and kicking through across my body. So again, that slight bend in the knee, and with exhalation, representing my point of impact. I pivot back, I find my place, and I lower down, same time. Now the drill I'm going to use to do this movement first, before we go into that, is raising the hands and raising the limbs and lowering them in conjunction with our breathing. So as I raise, I draw in breath. And as I lower, I exhale. Okay, so we'll all start together. I'll face you, just so we can see that I'm not trying to shift my weight too much. Okay, bringing my hands, shoulders width apart. My feet maybe even slightly wider than hips width apart. Just better for our base from the beginning. Okay, so here, inhale, rise left and right, and exhale, lower. And even as we fall over fast, right, we begin to lose our balance, begins to waver, right? Is where we try and find where those imbalances are, okay? And continue to go through them with pace. Small pause at the top, inhale, exhale. Just a few more. Raising my hand and foot, same height, which my knees are off the ground. And time. Lowering the knees down towards the ground. And here we're going to come to a standing position. Okay, best we can. Back to our standing position. Let's go ahead and work our legs. Go ahead and position our camera to an upright position. If you have your camera already with a good view of your area, feel free to keep it in its place. Okay, so my concept here, we're standing, hands are up, my arms are at my body. As I step one leg at the other, so goes across my hand, arm, right alongside the leg, almost like a scissor effect. So I step with my left, with my right. As my right arm swings. Okay, looking straight up to the sky. And my arm comes down. We go a full minute, just the right side. Step left. Big breath. Now here as we go along, let's begin to raise the heel off the ground. And not the entire foot. Both hands come back to my head. My arms stay in my body in that form of V. Okay, that lateral vision V. And my frontal vision is more the A-frame of my arms. Okay, step. Let's do more. Pick a little higher. Raise the heel. And not the entire foot on the ground like we're picking up on. Right? I don't want us to hop. Still staying grounded. More exhalation through the forceful portion of our striking. Right? So as I raise up, keep through. That's my exhalation. Step back, reload. Swing your arm right alongside the leg. And time. Now what I'll do is switch my stance. Okay. I'm going right down it. My right foot will be back. My feet will be the form of lead foot facing straight ahead. My back foot off the 45 us our 2 o'clock stance. For our left leg, 10 o'clock stance. Okay, just for the sake of balance. I'm here to step with my right, with my left. I start up slow. Find what my range is. As we go along the momentum of our kick, test the range. Hand stays to the head, arm stays to the body on the opposite side. Arm swings right alongside the leg. Again, raising that heel off the ground. I feel like I keep my foot flexed. And trying to keep my posture as upright as I can. And not just my leg, right? We also find our core really involved in action, right? So my core is really contracting here, right? We'll have more space for my legs to rise up. My exhalation. Go a little higher with each one. Arm swings down. Leg sweeps up. And time. Now, going to our punches, my feet standing slightly wider apart. Again, my A frame frontally and that B frame laterally. Okay, so I'm going to protect my arms, or using my arms to protect my body, hands to protect my head, chin stays low so I can still keep my head protected while protecting my body. Here I'm punching across my body. Not too different. It might be a similar concept. I use my left hand to come across the right side of my body. And vice versa. Same concept, keeping a slight bend in my limb. So I still have more potential for drive towards and through that potential target. Nice. Now we're still getting that contraction in the core as well. Each twist through the punch. Okay. This time you have more of a twist, just a crunch in the core. As I raise my heels, press the balls of my feet into the ground as I rise. More extension via my twisting than me leaning. Okay. You'll find the more we lean right along with what's coming off the ground. Okay. So here I'm a bit in balance. So I keep my balance by twisting forward rather than leaning forward. Okay. Just a few more. Still noticing my hands to my head. So I punch across, arms to my body. Raising the heel, still pressing through the balls of the feet. And okay, so go ahead and grab a quick sip of water and come back in with some more standing techniques. Back in 20 seconds. Okay, so here I want to introduce again the front kick. Now, front kick, pretty much been doing up until this point right now. It's when I'm thrusting forward rather than just lifting forward. Okay, so in order to thrust, I need to have my limb in a compressed position, right? So I can extend. Okay, I can flex my leg and extend forward. Okay, mid our kicks straight up, more for our stretching. Okay, it's called an axe kick. Okay, so here going up and down, right? Up and down. Okay, that's mainly located within my hip, where that energy is coming from. Okay, when I put my front kick into a similar way, right, with my legs straight, but I throw my knee into my chest and then extend forward. Now, see the same kind of balance as the arm comes down, As the leg goes up and forward. So we do this for 2 minutes here, right? So again, I'm going to go ahead and angle down towards my feet just so you can see the heels raising. That's the main thing we're working here, okay? Balance, of course. I'm connecting this with the earth. I come back, I switch, and kick forward. Switch. Switch. This time stepping back, the leg that I intend to kick with. Kick forward. Step back. Switch. Use my rear foot to kick back with each time and raising my heel each time I kick. Okay, knee into the chest. Hips come forward, shoulders come back. Right? The reason my hips coming forward, right, shoulders come back, arm come down, just that same balance within the dynamics. Okay, here we go straight away. Starting with my hands up, of course. Back. Those are a bit more advanced. Let's have a good amount of momentum through to the imagined point of impact. Here, hitting with the demi point of my foot, not my entire heel, right? But here, I'm flexing my foot, or actually flexing my toes, but pointing my foot. Okay, so I get more length, but that's when it stops. Then throw my leg back in slowly. Switch. Switch. Notice I'm raising my heel off the ground each time. Allowing for more propulsion each time, as well as testing my balance. Okay? Keep going. Just about a minute. Okay, so here we go. Right, going one kick at a time. Switch, skip. Making sure my exhalation really follows through with my kick. Notice my opposite hand and opposite arm stays my body. 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. Similar motion might be good for our switch kicks when we throw our switches for our roundhouse kicks as well. Continue to raise that heel off the ground. Thrust forward. Hips. Lean back with the shoulders. Swing the arm down. But I have one hand still to protect the head. And time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and implement punches and kicks together here. Okay. This time, I'm going to go ahead and throw our round kick. Now, the round kick is going to meet at the center and then come back. Okay, so not too different of a trajectory here. Okay, or at least the mechanics are not different, right? The trajectory actually is what's different. So instead of bending my leg slightly to kick forward with the ball of my foot, okay, I am going to kick with the bony part of my shin as I bend my leg and straighten my leg. I mean, at more of a horizontal approach. My jab, my cross, 2 punches. Lead hand, right hand. Okay, same thing corresponds if you're left-handed. You're in that 10 o'clock stance. Lead hand, rear hand. Okay, I step with my lead foot, and I kick my rear foot. Right? Of course, really I kick with my shin, right? But just in case I kick with my foot, there will be some residual impact on the foot, right? As long as in the point of position, I keep myself safe. I jab my cross. Lead, rear, step, kick. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Okay, jab cross. And again, our target, keep going. My target is an extension of my spinal column, straight ahead of me. Okay, and imagining my shift being fluid, right? So I want you to use your depth perception and actually visualize that happening. Okay, jab cross, almost like it's a pull, right? I not only raise my heel, but I turn my heel, right? As my heel turns, what happens? My hips turn as well. Okay, create more length, more thrust, jab cross, step, kick, and pivot right back to your position. Okay, just a few more. Nice. And just as we go along, right? You keep doing what we just did. Just look, see similarities, right? Bent leg, straight leg, my front kick. Bent leg, straight leg, my round kick. Just seeing the similarities between the two, you continue the round kick. Between the two different parts of my body, see a similarity of the mechanics. Ball of the foot, shin, top of the foot. Ball of the foot, top of the foot, shin. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add to that combination now. So my jab, my cross. 1, 2. And raise the heel, thrusting forward. And now when I step my left, I step out even at a bit of an angle. Why do I do this? Because what it does is allow me to be already in a bit of a momentum as that leg comes around the kick. Okay? So jab cross. Step. 45 degrees. I'm already about halfway into my pivot. Then I pivot just far enough to complete the round kick. But now as I bring that foot back down to the ground, I'm going to use that same side of my body to activate thrust forward with a punch. Okay, so that right foot returns, right punch, left punch. Here's where my switch motion comes in. I step back with my left and forward with my right. There's a mere slide in my foot back, so I can take a bigger step forward with my right, ground kick with my left. Come back to my position. Okay, jab cross, step. Those my foot's already turned, right? Now, as we mentioned before, especially in our basic class, it's not too different than walking. As I lead with one foot, what happens with the other foot? Begins to lighten. Okay, so I'm putting my weight on one foot, I lighten. Not only am I light on that foot, I'm already in a position of propulsion where I'm on the ball of my foot. So that's where momentum comes in as well as the intention of thrust through the ground. I jab my cross. Stepping further, more propulsion. Hit. Bring it back. Right punch this time to my left punch. My left comes back. Right comes forward. In that momentum. That foot's already turned to 45-degree angle, so I keep it there. And this one. For the round kick with the shin. 1, 2. Okay. So I say shin, but still, our foot is in a pointed position to make sure that even if we have the residual contact with the foot, I still keep myself safe. Okay. We're gonna go for that 2 minutes. But again, keeping more so in mind the breathing of the techniques. Okay. For the appropriate position. So like that, my cross. Nose position of my hips. And really trying to tuck my hips in. So I'm going to tuck more my frontal position here, my arms and hands. So I'm going to crunch position. And hold on, crunch on the ground. It's a standing crunch. My core is engaged. Or power. Step, kick. Punch, punch. Step back. Immediately step forward more. So I can kick. And I come back. Now as we go along, let's make sure that what we're doing here in the position of combat, right? My thrust is one of the key points, okay? So with that thrust comes my exhalation, right? So closed teeth, okay? I have to find the inhalation in between those strikes. Okay, so taking small, subtle breaths in. Okay, so I cannot take as pronounced of an inhalation as I do for my exhalation. Okay, in a relaxed state, somewhere in the middle. Okay, so here, actively exhaling and passively inhaling in between. There's my inhale as I draw my limbs back in. Back in. Keeping that pivot and time. Okay, so now we're going to go back down to the ground. Go ahead and put a quick sip of water back in 20 seconds. We're going to keep the yoga mats out of the way for this one. I position my foot downward here. Okay, so position here, our bridge position. Now, hips off the ground, this bridge position here. Keeping my fingers pointed about east-west, as you can maybe see here. And my knees just above my feet. Okay, so I can really bridge in upwards fashion. Okay, so it's all relative. Okay, so you need to bring your feet a little bit further away and a little further away from balance. You can go ahead and do just that. Okay, so here, I'm going to raise up one hand off the ground. That bridge. This palm faces down towards the ground. I'll get a picture here. Okay. Up and down. Actually, for this position here, it's a different move. I'm going to make sure my fingers are pointing back. Just for this position here. Okay, and we'll transition to the next. Okay, so I raise up. Palms face down. I keep my vision at my palms. Go to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. As I raise my hips up. Still keeping the weight evenly distributed between both feet. Really rooted into the ground. Exhale, keep the arms straight. Inhale, lower. Raise, exhale. Lower, inhale. Just a few more. Still being mindful to keep the feet evenly grounded. And time. Now, here we're going to do the time drill. This time facing my fingers out east and west. Here. And using the same concept we did earlier. Breathing as for each movement. So I'm raising opposite hand, opposite foot, and then lowering them. Same time. Up same time, down same time. Okay, this time, when I lower them, I put my hips to facing downwards. Inhale, up, pivot, turn, position, exhale, down. Inhale, opposite hand, opposite foot. Up, pivot, position, and exhale, lowering down. Notice my fingers still facing outward, east-west. Then my bridge position. And fingers facing straight ahead for my tabletop position. Pause, turn, position, lower. Okay, I'm gonna go 1 minute in each direction. Ready? And go. Start going clockwise first. Continue to go clockwise. Position, lower. Up, turn, position, lower. Really engage on the ball of the foot as I did it. Each time, utilizing the oxygen I took in to raise to fuel my pivot to my position, then I let it go. And switching directions. Find that small pause in between. Really call into the core. And that is time. Now, this is our position to utilize our standing base or technical stand up. So, one hand to the head. Here, keeping one hand to the body, one hand to the ground, the opposite foot to the ground. I kick forward, and I extend my arm as I retract my leg, pivot to my standing position, and okay, so from here, final rounds here from a grounded position. I want to go ahead and make sure that I can raise off the ground, not too different than we did when we jumped and hopped from our down dog position to our little squat. Okay, so this is what we'll come to when we come back. We'll take a small break in between. So I'm raising up, kicking both my feet off the ground, one at a time. Kicking through without touching that foot to the ground again yet. I raise, draw this leg in and up. And there I switch. Kicking through. Okay, we'll do that in just 20 seconds. Okay, grab a sip of water. Again, not too different than the times of before. When I exhale, I expand. So my legs get long, right? As I kick through, I breathe out. Correspondingly, I draw my leg back in with my breath, my inhalation. Okay, so that's what we're focusing on here, as well as, of course, our balance on our arms, posture, positioning. So here I raise up. One foot kicks through. And I draw back in with my breath. Find that pause in between on the breath, especially during my arm balance. So I'm calling more into my core, good stability using that breath in that static position, and then following through with my thrust, my exhale. Pause and use it for breath. Okay, 1 more minute. Again, we're not focusing on any amount of repetitions here. We're mainly just trying to keep that flow as we go. Continue going. Try not to pause in between. If I do, I can take that small break and return back in using, of course, the main measure of our tools, right, is for safety. So make sure I have good positioning. Land on one foot, kick through the other. Taking my feet in midair. Left up, right down. Kick through. Just a few more. Keeping a slight bend in the knee as you thrust forward. And time. Standing base. Kick through. Reach forward as you retract. And back to standing. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and bring our yoga mats back down. Sip of water if you need in the meantime. I want to end not too different than we began. Okay, so I'm starting my seiza position. Elongated spine. Hips to heels, sit bones to heels. Pulling oxygen into the opening at the tops of the feet. Feel the lungs. Expand the rib cage. Really, of course, in between. Facing back the lungs, exhale through the mouth. Good posture. Relax the eyes, relax in the jaw. Here, I'm going to walk hands forward. Try to keep the hips down. Widen the knees even for our child's pose. Again, still crawling into the rib cage. Really opening up the lungs. 4 more deep breaths into the base and back of the lungs while walking the fingers forward. Sit those hips back. One more breath. And so we walk our fingers back, bring the knees back together, feet together back to that seiza position. Again, resting hand in hand. Again, allowing rib cage to expand, relax the eyes, relax the jaw. Find that integration of the breath into the body. Helps to vitalize all throughout body, mind, and our spirit. joining me again for Martial Motion. I will see you again Wednesday and Saturday.